The couple sit close together, but the husband looks away. In traditional China, it was improper for a couple to face one another. The Manchu bride was dressed gorgeously for her wedding, but she looked down with a melancholy expression in her eyes. Thomson's photographs on China captured people from all social strata, from wealthy businessmen to street peddlers, from imperial court officials to underground antique dealers, from heavy laborers to religious monks. What marked Thomson's work out was his desire to present a faithful account of China and its people. He wanted to show his audience the human aspects of life in China through his extensive record of everyday street scenes, images that were rarely captured by other photographers of the time. In another picture, Thomson captured the sorry inmates of a hospital where orphan girls were offered for free to supposedly respectable families. According to the show's curator, Betty Yao, these intimate moments between people were that much harder to capture, given that Thomson had to travel with cumbersome equipment and glass plate negatives. And there's also the fact that Thomson managed to overcome his own language disadvantages and was using a medium of communication that often aroused suspicion.
Most people thought the camera would take out the soul and that perhaps you would die if someone took your picture. Whereas Thomson, I think because he came because he loved China and he loved the people and he was there to learn. So he wasn't an imperial legation person or a missionary. He came because he wanted to see China as it was really. That's why he was able to make people feel relaxed, to allow people to film them in the streets.
John Thomson, who lived between 1837 and 1921, was a pioneering Scottish photographer, geographer, and traveler. He was the first known photographer to document the people and the landscape of China for publication and dissemination to the Western world. Between 1868 and 1872, he traveled extensively from Guangdong to Fujian, and then to eastern and northern China, including the imperial capital Beijing, before heading down to the Yangtze River, covering a total of nearly 5,000 miles. When he returned to London, Thomson took up an active role in informing the public about China, which earned him the moniker China Thomson. The 115 images on show are all from the Wellcome Library's collection. The great majority of his photographs have never been exhibited. That's what impelled Betty Yao to bring these photographs to the place where they were taken.
Well, when Thomson left China in 1872 with 3 huge cases of glass negatives, he moved back to London. Back in London, he continued to give lectures, publish books, so he did a lot as an ambassador to tell the British people in the 19th century about China. But when I found out that in fact this collection has never been seen in this country, that's why I thought, I'm determined. Since I love these images, I hope with hard work, and it took nearly 4 years, the whole planning, preparation, bringing it into this country. If I love it, I hope the public in China will love it too.
Even though the photos were taken more than a century ago, many believe that the photographs are still inspiring the Chinese people of today.
Well, obviously today China is in a process of rapid change, and so it is a very educational experience to look back today and see how our ancestors lived in the past, to see what sort of streets they walked along, what sort of buildings they lived in. All this is vanishing so quickly today that it can be a wonderful, refreshing experience to see this different way of life in the very places where we are today, in Beijing, in Shanghai, in Fuzhou, and so on.
The exhibition opened at Beijing's World Art Museum on Wednesday and will run until May 18th. 马硕 CCTV